give him. Why don't we switch places when you fiddle?
All right.
And then make
If
sure.
she wanted to play Nancy Blevins on the band.
Oh, okay.
I play it some,
Okay.
once a year.
Okay. Nancy Blevins. I'm not too far apart.
All right, y'all. Yay, how's it going? Happy Mountain Music School. Everybody having a good day? Good. Tired as we were yesterday, we're riding on a high, right? I think I am for sure. Well, I hope you guys have had a great week so far, a great day. You've learned lots of good tunes. Today, don't forget, we're going to have the regular jam and then the slow jam, so you're going to have a chance to play some of those tunes. We're going to have the singing workshop. It's going to be outside today and some other things, so we'll have the list in a little while. Don't forget, we're having the square dance tonight at Good Times and also the pre-show at Lonesome Pine Drama downtown, and you can go have a free ticket if you want to go watch that. You all are in for a treat today. You got another band here. Probably some good dance tunes coming up if you want to show off some of those flat foot moves that you learned yesterday with Julie and them. So make a little room up here and you might come up and dance a tune or two. So I'm sure it will be great. We're lucky to have Gap Civil here. They have been, well, Lucas graced us last year as a little surprise guest, which was a good honor to have over last year when we were having our concert, so we enjoyed having him. So we thought, well, we might as well have the band over here this year. So we're glad to have them. They're over from Sparta, North Carolina, and they're going to play you some good old-time tunes and probably tell you where they came from and all the fellas and ladies that they learned them from. So I hope you guys enjoy Gap Civil.
Thank you all so much. It is such a treat and an honor for us to be here. Have you all had a good time at the camp this week? I can say, I just want to say again, it's such a treat anytime I get to come out here. The energy that you all create, you can just feel the positive vibes just as soon as you get into the crowd here. So such a wonderful thing to be a part of it. We just feel so lucky to get to come out and play for you. We are so excited to play. We're going to go ahead and play a fiddle tune first, and then we'll get into some more talking. Uh-oh, Kyle will get mad at me if I don't tune. I can feel that look coming already. Shoot, and here I thought I was in tune. You all don't realize the pressure I'm under playing with Kyle. Let's see. That's worse. It's worse. It just gets worse. Hold on.
You know, he told me the other day he had to go see a psychiatrist, this guy here. And I said, a psychiatrist? He said, yeah. And I said, how come? He said, I don't know. He said, for the last couple of weeks, he said, I just think day and night that I'm a wigwam and a teepee. He said, that's what I think in my mind. He said, psychiatrist couldn't help me a bit. And I said, oh, that's easy. You're too tense.
you so much. I wanted to start right off with that one. We were at the Sparta Fiddlers Convention last week, and I was in they had a fiddle banjo duet contest, and so I signed up to play with my good buddy Chris on that, and we started off, and it's not a tune that a lot of people know, and I got nervous on the stage, and just as soon as I started playing, I went straight into Cotton Eye Joe, just as hard as I could go. Well, Chris, he was right there with me. He stayed with me and everything. And then when we got off the stage, Chris said, well, do you think they'll know that we didn't play Natchez Under the Hill? I said, well, Kyle was judging. I said, Kyle will rat me out right away. And sure enough, as soon as I saw Kyle, he said, yeah, as soon as you started, I turned over to the other judges and I said, that wasn't Natchez Under the Hill at all. It was Cotton Eye Joe. So I figured I better get that one straight while it was fresh on my mind. Well, it's such a treat for us to get to play shows like this, concerts like this. I love playing for dances. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world. But when you get a chance to do a concert like this, you get a chance to just talk a little bit more and maybe play some things that you wouldn't normally get to play. And for us, and I'm sure for you all as well, I just love to emphasize in these kind of shows how much for us getting to play music is about the people that we connect with. For me, just music is so much about people, and the people you get to play with, the people you learn from, the people that inspired you. And so when I get in this sort of chance, I just love to take a little time during these shows and mention some of the wonderful people that we got to learn from that inspired us. And that first tune, and we're going to do a little set here from these guys, but that first tune, when I first started playing, I got acquainted with the Birchfield family from Rowan Mountain, Tennessee. Do we have any Hilltoppers fans out there? All right, good. I was hoping we'd have a couple. And so they were just so wonderful to me. Joe Birchfield, the original fiddler of the band, was my first hero fiddler. And when I first started playing, I managed to catch him in the twilight years of his life, and I would go out and visit with him and just got to spend a lot of time with him. And it meant so much to me. And then as time passed, the next generation there, Bill and Janice, got to spend a lot of time with them. They pulled me into their band a little bit. And so we just wanted to do a couple of Hilltoppers tunes. And in my normal full band, Gap Civil, we've got a new video coming out, hopefully next week. So keep an eye out for that. And we've got a lot of, so if any Hilltoppers fans out there, we've got a lot of, we went and filmed on Bill and Janice's property, and we got Janice to come in on the video too. So should be a fun video. Keep an eye out for that in the next couple of weeks. It'll be on our YouTube channel. But we'll go ahead and do another Hilltoppers one that I love to play, their version of Train for an honoring of their version of Train 45. Joe had a lick on the bow on this one that I don't think anybody's ever gotten, but we'll give it our best here. Thank you so much. If you ever were to get real into Joe Birchfield's fiddling, like let's say you get in your mind you want to play just like Joe, one of the stories I like to tell about him is, well, he never played with his pointer finger on his left hand. You see a lot of there's quite a few three-finger fiddle players, but they normally would play with those three fingers right there. And Joe was so peculiar, he only played with these three fingers on his left hand. And so if you ever wanted to play just like him, and sometimes you'll hear that distinct heel-topper sound, it's him sliding his pinky around in all kinds of amazing ways, really. But I was, when I first started fiddling, I wanted to play just like him, and so I decided I was not going to play with my pointer finger either. It took me years to unlearn that, but I started out like that, and so one day I was over visiting with him, and I just asked him point blank, I said, Joe, why don't you play with your pointer finger? I said, you're the only fiddler I've ever seen that didn't do that, and he looked at me and just laughed. And never answered the question at all. That was all he did. It was one of the most perplexing laughs that I've ever heard in my whole life, and that was the end of the conversation. Really, I guess I was just too young to push it any farther, and he clearly had nothing to say about it. So I have no answer to that question. I thought maybe he'd heard it, working on a farm or something, but it appeared to be fully functional. He just chose not to use it.
He had some kind of secret he didn't want to tell you about.
Something. He wasn't going to tell. He just laughed right at me. And then we just went on. So we'll do one more Hilltoppers tune like this. Definitely one that is very distinctive Hilltoppers. And as far as I know, it's the only version of this that I've heard. Anybody who plays it learned it from them. But we'll give a go at their version of Rattle Trap. Thanks, Jack. We have a big hand for our dancers over here. All right. All right. Well, like I said, I get to do some special things that we would normally get to do for a dance or something. I want to play one on solo fiddle here for one. And one of the tunes that Joe played that there's even they played several different versions of Sally Ann, but this one particular version, they put it out on their record, and it was just so interesting. It's got a very minory sounding feel to it, and Joe just played it solo fiddle on the record, and I thought it was such a beautiful addition. It's one of my all-time favorite just fiddle tunes, period. And he tuned in standard, which was, he did play some out of standard, but that was pretty unusual for him. And but to play an A out of standard was especially unusual for Joe. So one of the few tunes that he did this on, and it's got a very kind of unique, somber sound to it. So just want to take a moment to, we'll play, this will be our last Hilltoppers run here before we move on to other things to chat about. But play this for you. It's Joe's version of, one of Joe's versions of Sally Ann. Thank you so much. It's a treat for me to get to share some of that music of the Hilltoppers and just some stories about them with you. I want to take a moment to introduce the banjo player to my right here, one of my close friends in life and one of my favorite musicians in the world, Mr. Kevin Four. Can we give him a big hand? I feel so lucky to get to play with Kevin. If you don't know about him, I'm hoping most of you do, but if you happen to not, he is one of the most prominent banjo players and banjo makers from the Round Peak area. So if you were interested in Round Peak music or any of those musicians down there, Kevin is certainly the one to come and chat with about it, and he loves to talk about it and loves to share things. So I know he would love to answer any questions or just talk over things with you from the musicians from that area. So we're going to shift a little bit in our focus here and kind of move down the mountain to Round Peak and play some tunes that I love from the Round Peak area. And I feel so lucky to get to play them with Kevin. And I'll talk more about Kyle here in a second, but Kyle certainly played with all of those musicians as well. So we'll start off with one that everybody probably knows, a little bit of John Brown String. would you mind telling the crowd a little bit about how you learned to play and your connection to Kyle Creed and all that stuff?
Well, I got started playing a little bit late in life. I started at 26. Before I got into music, I drove a dirt track race car for 3 years. Then I had to get out of that because of some health problems. And my uncle, which was Benton Flippin's nephew, called me one night and he said, let's go hear Benton play up at Sparta at the Allegheny Jubilee. So I went with him. And I was just drawn to the banjo. And then I went and sold my race car and bought a banjo and a bass boat. And that's where it all ended. But this is the best thing that ever happened to me. Then I started going to Benton Flippin's house and learning music from him, pretty much teaching myself. Then I ended up coming across a cousin I didn't know I had, and his name was Kirk Sutphin, and we've come to be just like brothers. And whenever I was getting started, he would show me some, and then I'd go home and then I'd play, and then go back to his house and play what he had showed me, and I just try to follow everything the fiddle was doing. And Kyle Creed, he was my main influence on the banjo, and then Fred Cockrum and a fellow named Charlie Lowe. I got a bunch of old home recordings of them and tried to learn everything that they did.
And do you still put on the Kyle Creed banjo
Yeah,
exhibition?
back in 2009, I started documenting all of Kyle's banjos, since all the banjos I build is designed after his. And in 2009, I had my first Kyle Creed banjo show, and people started bringing banjos from all over the world to the banjo show. And I try to have it every 3 years, and this year I'm having it in September the 23rd down in Beulah, which is near I-77, near Mount Airy. It's Kyle's home community.
Would this be a good time to play a solo banjo tune?
I can.
All right.
Good time.
I ain't much of a talker.
Good time, Vinny.
I play one that I learned from home recording of Fred Cockrum. It's called Wild Bill Jones.
All right, we'll play another one of my favorite, well, I guess it's Kevin straightened me out. It's not really a round peak tune on a bunch of keys, right?
No, it comes from up on the mountain at Fancy Gap. It comes from an old fiddler named John Rector.
And, but the version I play is certainly round peak bass. So
Well,
we'll
everybody
put
looks at it as a round peak tune.
Yeah.
It fell off the mountain.
It fell off the mountain. Oh, get that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, in addition to being a great round peak banjo player, Kevin is one of the up and coming round peak fiddlers, and we're so excited to have him. Actually, Kevin, if you'll just, I'll put it on. I'll play wave word picking.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, before we reach into
Oh, yeah, okay.
And so we're going to switch around just a little bit, let Kevin jump on the fiddle, and give you a little bit of our round peak fiddling before we move on our little concert here.
I was going to play something.
Oh, you're going to play that? Okay, okay. Oh, okay. What are we going to play?
I was going to do Susie and the Girl.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I wasn't thinking. Perfect. Sorry about that. I just assumed G or C.
What's he going to do? D?
Either one.
Well, I ain't got no more stories to tell.
I was gonna ask
No,
you
no,
to-
not that. I was just talking to why y'all getting it all worked out here. So we had a 3-hour drive and we could have got this worked out.
Oh, wait. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I understand we've got some Wade Ward fans out there, or at least one out there. Where's that Wade Ward person? Who is it? Oh, there we go. There we go. Some Wade Ward people.
All right.
Well, certainly another one of my heroes.
Who you gonna play, Ken?
And I am seeing. Got it on my mind to do this one. Martha had mentioned that there was a couple of Wade Ward fans out there.
Is he going to?
So, the name of this one is a little up for debate, but I think on the record it got called Lost Indian. And he's got a very unique tuning for this, which I just think is wonderful. It's the only tune that I know of that he plays where he drops the 5th string down to match the 2nd fret there. And it just gives it a wonderful, wonderful, unique sound. So while Kevin's getting in tune on the fiddle, we'll play this little Wade Ward one for you here. His version of Lost Indian. He said that he learned it from his brother in his brother went up to West Virginia and picked up this version of it. So. G. Okay, all right, sounds good.
All
Yeah,
right,
sounds
yeah, that's nice right there. We're gonna take a second, let Lucas get the banjo back in the good old key of G here. Now y'all folks in for a treat. Now we'll get Kevin to fiddle you a couple of tunes here. Kevin's one of those fiddlers that he studies somebody, one of the guys from back in the old days, and when you hear Kevin play it today, you go back and listen to the record and it sounds exactly the same. So you got no pressure,
I don't know about
no
that.
pressure. But no, seriously, we think you'll enjoy Kevin's fiddle playing here. What are you gonna do? Walking in my sleep, something like that?
Let me fight with this banjo just a little bit more, Kev.
I ended up getting my hero's fiddle. This fiddle belonged to Kyle Creed. He played it on all the Camp Creek chords, G chords. Really looked into getting
like
it.
This is fun to do here. Kevin does not like to play with a capo, right, Kevin?
No, I hate paper.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it that strongly unless he said it himself, but Wade Ward, since we got some Wade Ward fans, he also did not like to play with the capo, but sometimes fiddlers would go to G, and in particular he played with Charlie Higgins, who played a lot in G. And Wade developed this wonderful picking style so that he wouldn't have to retune his banjo. Rather than bring his banjo down to G, he would just pick out the G tunes. So we'll give you a little bit of Wade's picking lick here, and keep the banjo tuned in A.
Son Helen Dixon? No. Just whatever you want to. All right, folks. We got any poultry fans out there?
I like chicken.
I like chicken also. Here's you one called the Cackling Hen. Yes, very nice. Oh, thank y'all, folks. We appreciate that. We'll get these fellers to swap back around here, and I think we're going up to the key of D. I think is that right?
Well, I think we're going to do a couple of your tunes, Kyle.
Oh, are we? Okay. Well.
So among the many things that I love about your camp and that you all have going on here is I've heard people talk about songwriting and tune writing and things like that. So I love how innovative you are. Certainly there's a great balance in traditional music between honoring the traditions that we all love and but also putting a little bit of a human spirit and innovation in as well. Kyle is just, again, another very close friend that I feel so lucky to get to play with, and he's also a great tunesmith. Writes tunes all the time, writes waltzes all the time, and we just wanted to do a couple of Kyle's tunes, and in our own way, try to encourage you just to be as creative, let that creative spirit flow through your music just as much as you can. Here's one that Kyle recorded. Maybe you would tell folks a little bit how you learned Kyle, and we'll do. You want to do Roy Martin's?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do Roy.
Yeah, this is when I was growing up and first learning how to play. So my daddy would haul me up to this guy's house named Roy Martin up in Ennis, North Carolina, which is a little ways out of the town of Sparta, North Carolina, and that was before I had my driver's license, so I was just learning how to play music, and I started out on the guitar, and then I went to the banjo, three-finger banjo, like Scruggs style, and anyways, this guy's name was Roy Martin. He lived in a cinder block house, didn't have no running water in his house, just an old guy, but he was such a great picker, just a fantastic picker. He's a good guitar player, and harmonica, banjo, he could play a lap steel. And so anyways, I spent a whole lot of years going up there on the weekends and playing music with him, and he always did these nice runs on his guitar rhythm. But anyways, I decided, and we was talking about doing a new recording, Gap Civil, Lucas and myself and the other boys, and I decided to come up with a tune and after Roy Martin. So we used to always say when we'd go pick my cousin up to go, he'd say, where you men going? I'd say, we're heading up to Roy. So that's what we titled the tune, is Heading Up to Roy's.
And Kyle wrote it to show off the amazing guitar runs that Roy did on the guitar. Huh? I wasn't really thinking one time at Mount Airy, and Kyle had told a lot of Roy stories, and I thought, well, let's make a band name that honors Roy. And so I named the band Roy's Runs.
Yeah.
It had a whole new meaning by the end.
Yeah. We came off stage and had to answer a lot of questions.
thank you so much. Well, time's getting kind of close here, and I wanted to ask if one of my other close friends in life might join us on the stage here. You all might have heard of Martha Spencer. And I'm going to grab a guitar real quick.
Yeah, we appreciate it, folks. Thank y'all for having us up here. We sure have enjoyed being here, and we got another treat for you here. And Lucas, this is a song that did you write this?
My grandmother wrote
his
the words.
grandmother wrote the words, and he put music to it. It's a really great song, and it's one that let's see, what did we put this on one of your CDs?
We sure did, yeah.
You got some?
Yeah, so we do have, we've got CDs up here. Kevin's got some CDs, and I've got some CDs, and we've got some Gap Civil CDs. And so this is a song, I understand we've got some songwriters out there. Where are you at? Raise your hands there. I saw some. Martha said you all have been writing a song. Where are they? They're out there somewhere. They don't want to raise their hands. Okay, I understand. I was a closet songwriter for many years, and in the last couple of years, I've just really enjoyed trying to put my songs out a little bit. And so it's another branch of my musical life. It's just been a real treat for me. And kind of in theme with our whole concert today, my grandmother wrote a song called Souls Living On. And as I was losing her and she was slipping away, I started putting some of her lyrics to music. And I was so lucky to have Martha and Kyle play with me on this track on the CD. So anytime I get a chance to do this one live with the two of them, it's a real treat for me. I really can't think of two people more evident that you can kind of feel the musicians before them living on through them. Both of their dads were amazing musicians, and so really appreciated them playing with me on it. No problem at all.
Have to retell a little bit. Did you tell them what it was called?
Yep, I did tell them what it was called. So I just want to say I hope in your own music, however you choose to go, you've got some souls living on through you as well. You write the words that I've left unwritten, go to places that I would have gone. You take the many journeys I'd love to have taken, and your soul will be my soul living on. Your soul will be my soul living on. Your soul will be my soul living on. My eyes will continue to see where you look. You are so much a part. Spirit will become more spirit for you, and I will continue to be. Your soul will be my soul living on. Your soul will be my soul living on. I have been limited, I have been bound. With my love, I've made you free, and I can rest peaceful knowing my best, and you will continue to be. Your soul will be my soul Your soul will be my soul living on. You walked down the pathways that I would have walked to give the things that I'd love to give. You take the many journeys I'd love to have taken. Thank God you had the privilege to live. And your soul will be my soul living on. 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 Thank you. Well, folks, it has been an absolute treat for us to be here today. I think we've got time for one more fiddle tune for you. And thank you so much for having us out. Can we give a big hand to the organizers of the whole camp?
Got a D sign.
Okay.
Yeah, we sure do appreciate it, folks. Yeah, once again, like I say, we got some CDs over here. Kevin's got some, and we got some Gap Civil and Lucas Solo, if you'd like to take a look at some of them. And I think we're going to fire off a good old D tune here. What do you got in mind?
Well, we'll do a little bit of Ducks on the Mill Pond.
All right.
We'll mention one more final fiddler here. Normally I wouldn't talk so much about all that stuff, but given that this is a music camp and you guys are thinking lots about tunes and where they come from, it seemed like the right place. So this particular version, I love Emmett Lundy's version. He was an amazing fiddler from around the Galax area, just outside of Galax, and had a huge impact on a whole generation of fiddlers there. And just had a wonderful way of handling the bow. We'll do sort of a fast version, but if you get to hear his original recordings, he kind of almost had I always think of like an old world sound. But we'll go ahead and spice it up a little bit. You all feel Kyle looking at me? Some people say we tune because we care. I tune because Kyle cares. Oh, yeah, thanks so much, yeah. We're so excited, I forgot to mention earlier, but I hope that everybody will make plans to come out to the Albert Hash Festival on the Saturday of Labor Day weekend. It's a wonderful, wonderful old-time festival. Martha is a key part of organizing that, and celebrates a lot of the music from that area, and Martha's uncle, Albert Hash, who's a fiddler we didn't get to talk about today, but I figured since you all had White Top Wednesday yesterday, you'd probably gotten a good healthy dose of that anyway. But the Saturday of Labor Day weekend, we've got a wonderful festival up on White Top Mountain. And there's flyers over here. Come grab a flyer. Lots of great music and just one of the prettiest places in the whole world if you've never been out there. And here's a little bit of Ducks on the Mill Pond. Gosh, that just won't get into it, Kyle.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's the lights. It's the lights.
I guess you think it's the lights. That's what, you know what he told, we was driving up here today. So like I say, it's a 3-hour trip. And Lucas said, he said, you know what I did? I said, what's that? He said, we stopped at a gas station, got us a drink and stuff. He came out of the bathroom and he said, I just realized when I was in there that I've got on a green sock and a black sock. I said, oh? He said, yeah, and I've got another pair at the house that matches.
thank you all once again. It's an absolute honor and treat for us to get to share with you the tunes and the people that we love. Feel free to come up and chat with us after the show. You don't have to buy anything to chat with us. Just come up. We'd love to meet you. And hope you all have a great rest of the week for your camp.
Great. Thank you, boys, for coming out. Y'all did great. Sounded perfect. Good little history lessons for us all. So, don't forget a few things tonight. We are doing the square dance at Good Times. You're welcome to join in the band, or you're welcome to come dance a bit. It starts at 6. You can come a little early and get some dinner. They got some great pizzas, coal-fire pizzas. We're doing the open band at the Lonesome Pine Drama. I'll be there at 7. And then you can stay and watch the show if you want, or you can just show your name badge if you want to